Greetings and salutations. Wanted to tell my friends on the podcast here about our support from the brothers at Barossa Transport. You can check them out at barossatransport.com. Now listen, Barossa Transport offers a comprehensive service for all your transportation and property needs, including vehicle transport, heavy equipment hauling, you need your property cleaned up, material delivery, whatever it is, their dedicated team ensures reliable and efficient service. So, there's any solution you need tailored to your specific project requirements, Barossa Transport's got you covered. They can deliver your gravel if you got a road you need to cover, you need a water delivery, you need some debris hauled off, some branches, some heavy equipment moved around, dust maintenance and mitigation is coming up here in the summertime. All of it, roll off dumpsters, scrap metal recycling, trailer and vehicle transportation. I'm just going to stop right there because the list goes on and on. But you can call Barossa Transport now at 707-358-2859 for a free quote and have Barossa Transport transport your stuff today. Also going to tell you about Thompson Construction. Big shout out to Kyle at Thompson Construction. Hey, I've been wearing the hat all day. And listen, you got excavating and grading needs, general engineering contractor based in Ukiah. You need some septic work done, any of that kind of stuff. Because trust me, this work is hard to find. The specialized septic system installation and repairs is hard to find in Ukiah. You need pond construction, agricultural stuff done. You want to line a pond, keep it from losing water in those hot summer days. You need a retaining wall, hiding, hillside grading, drainage systems, any of that stuff. Listen, this is OQ certified for PG&E, excavating and backfill. You need a swimming pool, fuel management, demolition. Again, what can't Kyle at Thompson Construction do? So, Thompson Construction, they love what they do, and they take the utmost pride in their work and customer satisfaction. With great attention to detail, no job is too big or too small for some of you out there, okay? So don't be shy that your job's too small. Just give them a call today at 707-391-7679. Oh my gosh, Carter, I'm so excited.
What are you excited for?
I don't want to hear that there's nothing to do in Ukiah anymore because that's all I hear is blah, 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 nothing to do in Ukiah because the Thirsty Axe on June 13th, 2025 is having, drum roll. I don't know, that didn't sound like a drum roll, but midget wrestling, bro. Your boy will be front row. I'm going to be body slamming, flinging midgets up into the upper deck. So come through. Tickets are going fast, and I'm really excited about it. So come have a drink with me. Come hang out with the boys from Like It or Not.
That's right.
And June 13th down at the Thirsty Axe. But if that's not your bag, check out the other things they got going on at thirstyaxe.com. They have all kinds of different trivia. You can get up and sing a song in front of your friends on a karaoke night, play some pool, drink some beers, throw axes at the ceiling. It's all fun down at Thirsty Axe. So check it out, thirstyaxe.com. Yo, I like to keep it clean, and the way I do that, every 2 weeks I go down to Pure Blends Barbershop and get faded. Listen, voted best barbershop in Lake and Mendocino counties. That's a thrice piece, 3 years in a row, right? 3-piece in Minnesota. Every year they're the best, and that's saying a lot because there's quite a few options out there when it comes to getting your hair cut, but no options are as good as the ones at Pure Blends Barbershop. So go see your boys. You got to call for an appointment because they be getting booked. 707-472-6097, Pure Blends Barbershop. DC Customs.
Customs.
Sounds like something out of a comic book, but that's what your vehicle looks like when these guys are done. It's really, really cool, man. I'd be sharing all of their cool stuff they do on Instagram. So listen, DC Customs, whether you want to get new tires, rims, slam it, jack it up high, run it through some sand, whatever you want to do, these guys can make it happen and make it look cool in the process. If you want to check out what they can do, go to dccustoms.net or call them today at 707-463-2227 and customize your vehicle today. Really excited to announce a new sponsor, Cali Mobile Detailing. Oh my gosh, you guys. listen, this is a local Ukiah-based small business with a passion to provide an exceptional detail service, whether you're in Mendocino or Sonoma County. And when I say exceptional, I mean it. He detailed Carter's mom's car, and that thing looks absolutely brand new. It's unbelievable. So like he can do the inside of it, right? And do it super professional, interior carpet, seat extraction, steam cleaning, all those tight spots that you can't get with your fat knuckles. He can do it. Okay. And he'll do it with a professional grade leather vinyl plastic conditioner that'll bring everything back to life. Or if your exterior is busted like mine, you can go through it, hand wash it, clean all the wheels, get the tar off of things, he calls it like a clay bar treatment, which removes the contaminants embedded in the coat, in the paint. It's crazy. So listen, you got the foggy headlights. They can take care of that too. I know you got like a 1999 Honda Accord over there, and those headlights, rubbing Coca-Cola on them isn't going to keep working. So this guy can do it for you. Get that fog out of there so you can shine bright like a diamond. Paint correction too. If you got some scratches, let's get rid of those. So listen, here's the catch. You got to mention you heard about him, through the Like It or Not podcast, and you'll receive $50 off the Works package, baby. That's it. Pickles and onions. So remember to mention Like It or Not for your next detail. So you can find them on IG. That's Instagram for you boomers out there at Cali_mobile_detailing and DM him, or just give him a call at 707-510-7373 and ask for Nick. Again, 707-510-7373.
My name is Carter Lane.
I'm Drew Nickel.
Welcome to the show.
Oh my God. I think you have a problem, bro.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo.
Pirate's life for me. Oh, that's Yo-Ho.
Everybody say, hey, yo, hey, yo.
Yo-Ho, Yo-Ho.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we, Top Shelf, are performing at Sundays in the Park this Sunday, June 8th, along with our buddies, The Expendables. It's a free show, Todd Grove Park. 6 p.m. we're hitting the stage, so we want to see you guys all out there at 6 o'clock sharp this Sunday, June 8th.
Every single one of you.
Every single one of you.
Also, while we're doing shameless self-promotion and asking you for favors,
Bring your grandma.
Also, can you go follow and subscribe? No, it's not follow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're really trying to boast up over 200 followers. So if you could do us a favor right now.
Hey, we're getting there.
We are. We're on our way. We're like 80%
soaring
of the
like
way.
a fucking eagle, ladies and gentlemen.
So it's Like It or Not podcasts. Until you get enough followers, YouTube makes you hard to find, but don't give up. We're there. Give us a subscribe.
We're there.
Drop a comment, and we will promise to reply with nice things to say to make you happy.
Yep. Also, every Thursday, new episodes are coming out. Every Thursday, you get a new dose of Drew and I here at Like It or Not. And
all right. Enough of that bill pay.
Get into it.
Yeah, you're lucky. We just keep cranking them out.
Do you feel lucky?
Yeah. We're like muffins at Costco. There's a lot of them.
Bro, they changed the muffins at Costco.
What do you mean? I don't eat muffins anymore, but
I haven't for almost 30 days. However,
yeah, good for you.
Last time I tried to go in there and get a chocolate chip muffin,
yeah,
they did not have them.
Oh, do they mix up the flavors?
But no, they were different kind of muffins now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had the one I got was like strawberry or raspberry.
No.
Something.
No.
Oh, it was bomb though. But
No.
it's different. You know why Costco is the best ever? Because at Costco you go in there and you're looking around and you're like, ooh, look at these fucking cool camping chairs. And you're like, I think I'm gonna buy one of those. And then you're like, I don't know, let me think on it. And the next time you go back, gone.
Yeah.
Never to fucking come back again.
Dude, hesitation will get you killed at Costco, dude.
Yeah, but when you're an addict like me trying not to be impulsive, Costco's a fucking hard one.
Oh, dude, I can't get out of Costco without spending 400 bones.
Oh, fucking easy, dude.
I'm like, what is this? We bought chicken wings and toilet paper. What the hell? What's in? I'm like, did my wife hide something in here?
Yeah, you also bought all the new pool towels, the
Kayak.
the kayak, yeah, the fucking paddle board.
I got the kayak with a garden shed on it. I was like,
Hey,
that, I'll
dude,
definitely use that.
the garden shed on it. It's
Yeah.
got tools
In
in
case
there.
my wife kicks me out and I got to live on the lake.
You never know when you're going to be on the lake and need to garden.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I would do. Is
That's
like
fine.
build some kind of shanty that floats.
yeah, you would. Have you ever thought about being on Naked and Afraid? We talked about this, right?
Yes, I would do that 1,000%. I just watched Alone Australia, and I definitely, if you're watching this, I want to be on a reality TV show that is a survival show where you go
I
out.
really want you to go
Bro,
on Naked and
first of
Afraid.
all, it would be hilarious because I don't like spiders really, but I think that I would win. I think your boy's got perseverance unknown to most, including himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I'd prefer to do it with pants.
No, you don't want to go out there with a fucking.
I'd be looking like a pair running around on 2 toothpicks out there, dude. You know what I mean? But I mean, if that's what you guys want to do,
Hey,
film
dude,
the back
if
of
you're
my
in-
nuts for 20 days, dude.
If you're into extreme dieting, I mean, there's no better way to go out there for fucking 27 days when eat
Exactly.
bugs.
I come back skinny as fuck.
Yeah,
dude. Hit up
dude.
in and out on the way back. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Except you got to go out there with a complete stranger who you've never met before, and she's also naked.
Oh, it has to be a woman?
Yep.
Ooh.
You and her.
I mean, I could do it.
I know you could do it.
No, I mean, like, but in this one, they were alone, like by themselves.
Yeah, that's fucked. You can bring on Naked and Afraid. You can bring one thing each. I think maybe
Okay.
it's 2, but you
Yeah.
can bring one thing. What would you bring?
Lighter.
Really?
Lighter.
Okay.
Dude, if I'm making my
You're
balls is
very-
definitely getting cold, I need to start a fire. And
Okay.
or something to start
What
a
if
fire.
they drop you off in the middle of the desert?
It gets cold at night, dude. You got to cook your food. You got to boil your water. You got to be, if you're going to survive, you got to be able
How you gonna chop down
do
trees?
fire. I don't know. I have to figure that part out. But
How you gonna kill fucking your food?
with these bare hands, bro, dude. Fucking Jack Johnson, Tom O'Leary right here, dude. I'll give them a rap on the nose.
Okay, producers of Naked and Afraid,
Dude, put me on.
you put him on.
I would love it.
Sure,
I
that would
don't-
be rad.
But can I be on one of the ones where I'm not naked? I mean, I don't really care. I'm fine with being naked, but
They blur out your bits.
yeah, it just seems like an unnecessary thing. They're like, what would make this absolutely terrible? I know. Take your pants off.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you got to sleep on like a bamboo bed with this other person. And
It
shit.
would just-
Like, you got to cuddle for warmth.
It would just be a beanbag and a wink every fucking day, dude. I just don't think that's good TV. But if that's what you want to do,
They blur the bits. You're not showing your bits to the public.
I'm talking about the guy that's got to edit, the guy who controls the blur.
Yeah, that would suck. That would suck.
What would you bring? Or I'd bring my cell phone.
I think
I'm just gonna scroll. For
I'm gonna watch YouTube, babe. You work on that
for
hut.
3 weeks. Let me know when it's ready. When dinner's ready.
I think I'd bring like a hatchet of some sort.
Yeah, that would be important.
Because the things that I saw on there that they have problems with is fucking number one is they're always shit sleep. They're
Yeah.
always trying to make a fucking bed out of bamboo poles and bullshit like that.
Yeah.
And where to sleep. Like they don't want to sleep on the ground and they don't want to sleep up too high. And they were trying, you got to make yourself a comfy bed.
Yep, and a good shelter.
A water purifier would be another thing. That's another thing that's like hard to
If I had a fire, the problem is you don't have a container, huh?
boil your water.
So in Alone, you can bring 10 things.
10.
Yeah, 10
That's
things.
way too many things, dude.
But
That's easy. Does
then-
everybody survive?
no, because then it's the last person who doesn't quit.
Oh, fuck that.
So you go and you don't know when it's going to be over until you're the
That's
last person.
Nope.
That's the one I would like to do.
That's a fucked situation.
You're alone, you get 10 things, but you're out there until the last person quits. So you don't know. It could be 10 days or it could be, in the case of the one I watched, Australia, the first season, it was like 67 days.
No,
and like
dude, no.
it was 10
That's hard.
people, and
So you're competing against other people, really,
but
not
you're
just
alone.
the wilderness.
yeah, they're out there, and you don't know, right?
You don't know how long. Oh, somebody tells you when somebody quits, though, right?
You don't know when anybody quits until the last person's quit. So you're just out there like,
Oh,
shit.
okay.
You know what I mean?
They just leave you out there for a couple of years. It's like, no one's quit yet. Don't quit,
Really?
guys.
Are you sure nobody's out one? I'm kind of ready to come home now.
Yeah, nope.
No, stay out there.
Stay
please.
out there.
But yeah, and so with that one, you're alone, but you have like a knife. You can bring 10 things, which is like would be
That's way
perfect.
too many things.
I think it's perfect. You can bring.
That's a backpacking trip, bro.
if I.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I guess so. But anyways, I'd like to be on one of those survival shows. I think I would be. I think I would do great.
I think you should apply for all of them.
The problem is like, do they pay you? If you win, you want this person
Yeah, you
won
win something.
250,000. That's not bad.
You get the experience, Drew.
Yeah, but like my business would fall apart.
You're gone for 21 days every fucking month, anyways.
I don't
dude.
mean
What
my
are you talking
I don't
about?
mean my naked business either, dude.
Your twig and berry's gonna fall apart out there,
My
dude.
business fell apart, dude. What the hell? Out here in the sun.
No. How about they have kayaks and rafts at the lake now for rent.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
I thought that was a neat idea.
I would rent one.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I like the 2-foot paddle boards or paddle boats though. Do they have those?
I don't know. You have to go check it out.
Okay.
You know what though? All that stuff, I like it for other people, but it's really not my speed, dude. You know what I mean? Like paddleboarding out on the lake just seems real fucking boring to me. Dude. Is it just me? Like you
I
just
always
go
lo-
out there and you're like, okay,
I always
fucking
enjoy
here
it
I am
on the way
Like,
there. Like, well, it's like, let's go to the island. It's like, yeah, and you paddle out there and you get to the island, and then the afternoon wind picks up, and you're like, fuck, we gotta paddle back.
Where's this fucking boat picking us
Yeah,
up, dude?
dude. Can I rent a kayak for that?
Yeah, it's just kind of boring out there.
I'd bring a fishing pole, catch a largemouth bass.
You're not catching shit. Dude.
I'd be survivor on the lake.
No, dude. Look, they got paddle boats.
That's cool. That's good. I'm glad they're doing something.
I know. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
They're available now. Kayak and what? Rentals? Soup?
Visit Ukiah. Kayak and soup?
Yeah, they give you a bowl of soup.
That's a weird combo. You're like, I hope I don't get any lake water in this thing. Get Giardia. You know what? I went kayaking once in Cabo San Lucas. It was the same thing. I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And I was going to go out to the point, because Cabo's the tip
Yes.
of California.
Yes.
Yes.
California.
Yeah, Baja California. Okay.
Okay, Trump.
In the Gulf of America.
Okay.
Although it is annoying, no one calls it Gulf of America. Everyone still says Mexico, but that's another story.
Okay. Tell us yours, please.
So I went out there and go back into the kayaks. I was in one of the ones where your legs are out,
Yeah.
and holy shit, I have never had more fried sunburnt legs in my life.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Same
that's
thing.
no
Kicked
joke.
ass. Went out there on the way back. There was a current and it was hard, and people I was with was panicking, and I was like, "Just keep going." and there's no one here to save you.
Keep rowing.
The Mexicans will not come to your rescue.
Who's going to carry the
Yeah.
boats?
I was in that one on the left, and dude,
Fried your legs.
I mean, just pink little lobster crab legs I had at the end, dude. It was brutal.
Dude, the worst sunburn I ever got was not scuba diving, but snorkeling in Hawaii.
Oh yeah,
And my back is just like a turtle above the water the whole fucking day.
and you didn't put sunscreen on.
I did, but like not even
yeah.
near. And it was the worst. I didn't even know you could get sunburn like that.
Yeah,
like
like-
it burned just like sitting there. I couldn't stand to have anything touch my back, And the next day I had to fly home,
Yeah,
and I was on the airplane just like, fuck, dude.
that
The worst.
that happened.
Couldn't sleep.
My brother and I, we went to the Cayman Islands with my parents, and we were like, we love snorkeling. So we were out there all day that night, backs as red as the side of your face right now. And we were just both like, crying and screaming the whole time. My dad was so bummed. We were in the vacation.
Look at these.
Oh my God, dude.
I like that Batman one.
We're looking at, for those listening, we're looking at pictures of people with really bad. Oh my God. That guy. Oh my God. There's a huge fat man with a
fake
mat.
news right there, dude.
That's not real, huh?
I don't know. Ooh, look at the blister one.
Ew. No.
Oh, look at the
Dude.
blisters.
JJ, get that off the screen.
It looks. Oh, look at that one.
Dude, that's what your ball sack will look like in Naked and Afraid, dude. Just toasted.
People.
God.
That one looked like two boobies on his back that had the two blisters or like that. That's gnarly, dude.
So are the people in Naked and
God,
Afraid?
look at that, Drew.
Oh, I can't, dude. I
Look
want
at
to change the subject.
Look at
I'm
that.
trying to-
Let's pop it.
Oh, God.
Oh my God! Look at that one. That's
Bro,
that's
if you don't
like
take that off the
third
screen
degree
right now,
burns
dude,
or something.
That guy looks like sourdough bread, dude. He's got like crust on him, dude.
God,
What an
damn
idiot.
it.
That guy got drunk and
No.
passed out. Oh my God, dude. Look at the guy who passed out with a bottle on his chest, far left, second row. Yeah.
With a bottle in his arm.
What a jackass. He thought he was hella cool, dude. His wife.
That would have been me.
That what? What do you mean, dude? That probably is you, dude. From 20 years ago.
Holy shit!
You used to get the glass classes.
I did.
Yeah, I always remember when you like drink and we'd be like out partying and or like day festivals, and then like back then, like the late 2000s, the little bug eye glasses were cool.
Yeah.
And then you just have them like cooked on, dude. And then like the bright white stripe.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, dude.
How neat.
Super neat.
So while you're looking things up, JJ, can you look up the new gas tax,
Oh no.
California?
Let's talk about things that don't raise my blood pressure.
I believe this just passed, right?
Yeah. I think
Did
so.
it? Did it pass? Gas tax.
I was just out in Orlando, Florida. And,
So go ahead.
and gas was $3 out there.
What are they? Why?
I don't know why. I was just telling you what it was. I didn't go. Excuse me, sir. Why is the gas $3? Could you give me an economic breakdown and how many refineries are currently
Well, no, I'm
processing
saying-
crude in your state?
Why is it $5 here and $3 there?
Because the rest is taxed, dude. Some people don't even realize how much we're getting taxed. Gas prices could top $8 in California by 2026 due to go ahead.
A tax increase.
Click on that.
I thought it just passed.
Scroll
Maybe it
up.
hasn't
I was
passed
reading
yet.
the headline there. Due to refinery closures, reports warn. Yeah, we have two main refineries closing.
Yeah, and they're hiking. They're doing a 68-cent tax or something like that.
Yep. And then you know what else is going up? Insurance. They're going to have to be forced to approve a 38% increase in insurance in order for State Farm to stay in our state.
Fuck off, dude. 69.8% tax
Yeah.
is what's proposed.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's about to get super expensive to be in California. Like if you thought it was already, just wait.
I'm not into it.
I know.
Could get as high as $8 a gallon. That'd be great.
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it.
You can afford it, dude. Come on. You're white.
Are they gonna?
What? White people can afford expensive gas, dude. Everybody knows that. That's why it's so expensive here. By the way, your homeowner's insurance, let's make that 18 grand a year. You can afford it. You know what I mean?
I can't find a job that pays me more than $30 an hour.
Dude, that's the whole point. So the cost of living, I was looking at something where it was like the cost of living in California is something like what was it? I could look it up, but compared to other states, like how much more expensive it is. Okay, so look up the average cost of a house in Florida. Okay, let's do some math here. Average cost of a home in Florida. Please, thank you. Okay, $413,000. Now look up the average cost of a home in California. $900,000.
Holy shit.
Okay, so let's do some quick math. What is that? How much more is that? That's over 110%, right? So we'll just do some quick math for you guys. Yeah, that's like 200 over like a 220% more. Okay, now what are how much more do people make in California per year than in Florida? Okay, yeah. ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. Remind me to talk about ChatGPT again later if we can.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Talk about ChatGPT.
No, not
later.
right now. I'm already talking about it now. Remind me later.
Oh, okay. You didn't say the later part.
ChatGPT. Remind me to talk about you later. Yeah. It's something like we make our income is something like 20% higher. Let's see. Come on, internet. So the average wages in California, I think, are 20% higher. So here's the thing. What's that say?
It's almost 50% higher.
It's what we make.
Yeah.
Average salary in Florida versus. Okay. So we make 50% more, but the housing costs 220% more. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it doesn't make sense to live here anymore. You know what I'm saying? When it's like, okay, you make X amount more in this state, but it's not, it's like 30 to 40% to cover that gap. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The average cost of a home in California is $900,000. Dude, it's crazy, bro.
That's nuts.
It's crazy.
Is that because there's because of LA?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you have LA, San Francisco, San Diego. That's going to be adding to the average. But there's a lot of reasons why. They also don't build enough because of overregulation. It doesn't make sense. The average cost of red tape added to a home is somewhere between 120 to 180 per
Driven by
house.
expensive housing prices being significantly above the national average. This is due to a shortage of housing supply coupled with high demand, further exacerbated by factors like high taxes and costly transportation.
Yeah. So,
So
talking
where are
about
we
the
moving,
gas.
dog? Jesus.
I'll tell you, I spent the weekend in Orlando at a
Orlando.
mastermind, and I'm like, I like Florida. I think that's where I'll probably end up.
More and more you're liking Florida.
I just like what's going on there more than anything. And yeah, I think that's where I'll go.
How's the weather?
It's warm and muggy, but you're wearing flip flops and shorts, and it's all every day's a beach day, dude. It's cool. I don't know, but I just like. I was out there at a mastermind summit for this Aspire for More group that I'm in, which is super cool. Have you ever heard of the Aspire Tour?
No.
Type that in, Aspire Tour, or go on YouTube. You can check it out. It's basically a business tour, right? That goes around and has speakers speak. And it's kind of a funnel that drives you into, like, they go and they'll have, like, the one I was at had Gary Vee and Joe Montana. David Goggins is speaking at the next one. And
That's cool. Motivators for your business.
yeah, the kind of top performers telling you how they did it, right?
Yeah.
So you go to there, you get all ramped up.
Is that Kevin Hart?
It's Shaq.
All the
dude.
way on the right?
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Shaq, dude. Why is Shaq on there?
Yeah, dude. Oh, Shaq.
I was just big and
I think
huge.
Shaq's actually got a lot of businesses going on. He's
Yeah,
like,
probably. He was
what-
just a really shitty basketball player.
yeah, he's just large and in charge.
God, it was
Anyways,
so frustrating to watch him play.
through that tour, I joined a group, a real estate investing group that kind of taught you how to do deals. And then from there, they do like these masterminds and you get into these different things. So I went out there this weekend and listened to a bunch of different people. But the guy who's the man, dude, is Gary Vaynerchuk. You know who he is or listen to him?
No. Is it Vanderchuck rules?
No, no, dude. Gary V, dude, come on.
Gary Vander.
Gary V is like
He's got that show, Vanderchuck Rules.
No, it's This guy. You don't know this guy?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, we live in different worlds.
Is he the midget from that one show?
What one show?
That one show with the midget guy.
No, dude, he's not a midget, dude.
Oh,
Gary, Gary Vee's not a midget. dude.
sorry,
That
dude. He
one
looked like a
show?
fucking midget. I don't
No,
know.
he's tall as hell, dude. He's kind of skinny too.
Okay, okay, dude.
Have you ever
Fuck,
seen this-
I never met him.
Have
no.
you ever seen
I-
a skinny midget? They all got thick ass calves,
Oh,
dude.
that's kind of weird.
Yeah, because they're packing a lot into a little, dude.
Speaking of little midgets, have you watched Tom Segura's new show?
I can't. I can't watch that. That's garbage, dude. He lost me when the first 5 minutes when he shit all over himself. I hated that. I was like, it's not. We talked about it, right? You're like, well, I don't know if you'd like it. I'm like, well, let me see. No, not at all, dude. This guy is seriously demented.
Oh, there he is. He's not a midget at all, Drew.
Dude, Gary's the man.
That's cool. So he spoke and
Dude, the crazy thing is like what he's all about is like talking about how, you can spend all this money in advertising your business, do all of these things. But honestly, like social media in this day and age is like everybody's dropping the ball on what the power of social media is for their business, including us in this podcast.
sure.
He's like, if you're not on all 7 platforms and posting every single day, he's like, you're
Wasting your time.
he's just like, you're behind the ball, dude, because it's not always going to be like that. Like we think social media is always going to be there, this thing to promote, but things change so fast. He's like, you better get on the train while you can. I was like, I didn't even know there were 7 social media platforms, but there are.
X, Twitter,
No, that's the same.
Jim. What?
X and Twitter are the same, dude.
Oh, X,
Yeah. Instagram,
Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok,
TikTok,
Facebook,
Facebook.
MySpace.
No,
MySpace ain't one of them anymore.
no. LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
The fuck's that?
That's for it's Facebook for business professionals.
Yay. And then what else?
Dude, you don't even know who Gary
else
Vee
is
is.
there?
So
Oh, he pulled them up. We didn't have to even do this.
Oh, shit.
YouTube, Snapchat.
dude, Snapchat, like what? Is that still a thing?
I don't know.
You use Snapchat, Jay?
is.
What is going on in there? You sending pictures of your wiener or something, dude?
Jesus Christ, Drew.
Well, isn't that what it's for? Because it disappears?
Yeah, that is what people usually use.
Okay, so Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube,
Yeah.
Twitter, X.
That's
That's
it.
6.
And then True Social.
True Social.
That's Trump's one, right? I don't know if people actually use that besides Trump.
This is funny because I was just thinking I would get off all of these motherfucking things.
Well, if you're not trying to run a business, so what does it matter, right? You don't even know what LinkedIn and Gary Vee are, so it's like not trying to make you feel bad.
Damn, bro.
Not trying to make you feel bad. But
Okay, dude. I guess I'm not trying to run a business.
No, not just saying exactly. So
Fuck.
you don't need to worry about it, but I'm just saying.
I'm listening to all the guys that says we should get off of that because it's rotting our brains.
Yeah, which is true. And I'm like, I gotta post every day on all 7.
We're
Or
in
no one
different
will
worlds,
know.
bro.
I have to build my personal brand. But here's the trippy thing that he was saying, and those of you who do know Gary Vee can just imagine him saying this. And he was like, Google is like, you know how antiquated things become so fast? And he was just talking about like the yellow pages. Remember those?
Yeah.
Do you even remember the yellow pages? Phone books? Are those a thing?
I used to go through and prank call people, and I'd just open it to a random page and
I
point
used
to
to
a
go to
random
your
thing.
house and you would do that. You remember we would do that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was fun. You could probably still do that with just, anyways. But he was saying like Google now, like more people aren't using Google as a search anymore. They're all going to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
And he was like, everybody in the room stand up. And he's like, if you do most of your searches through ChatGPT versus Google, and we were a room of like 40 to 50-year-olds, right? Like an older crowd,
Yeah.
not kids. And dude, 3/4 of the room stood up. And he's like, look at this. And he was like, 4 months ago, 6 months ago, this was not a thing.
Yeah.
He's like, this is happening faster than anybody can even comprehend. And he's like, the reason it's impactful is because of the way that searches are going to be done in the future for getting your business to like pop up. Like Google AdWords, he's like, it's dying fast. He's like, within 24 months, it won't be a thing, or the ads are going to be so expensive because there won't be there's only going to be a few companies on there, so it's going to get all super crazy. And then they started going and saying, like, how do you get your business to register in a search on a chat, on an OpenAI search, as opposed to Google, because that's where everybody's going, and how they use the experience. Anyways, I don't need to go if you guys aren't interested in it, but it was just super interesting, him talking about how fast and how quickly the world's going to change. And he's like, you sit there and monitor your kid in their screen time now, like, oh, Billy, you're only allowed 5 hours a day. He's like, dude, in the future, watch what happens. He's like, these kids, everyone's going to have glasses. They're not even going to have phones anymore. They're going to see it. It's going to be nothing but monitored screen time. And he's like, it's inevitable. We're not going backwards.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Believe
dude,
that.
he's super right how fast this is happening.
Well, doesn't ChatGPT draw on the internet, like the social mind of the internet to formulate its answers? So it's not just drawing from Google, but it's drawing from all sources.
That's why it's better.
Right.
That's why it's better, right? And it's, more data sources. And I would imagine data besides just what's online, right?
Yeah, it's an accumulation of data that's been stolen from people.
Yeah, it's also what you're doing on your phone, what other people are searching, all of that data, right?
So is it biased based on your own ChatGPT searches?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how Google is connected with all your social media sites, and so when you're looking at sweaters, and then all of a sudden you open Facebook and there's a bunch of sweaters, and you open Instagram, there's sweaters, and is ChatGPT influenced in that same way? Of like if I ask for something, is it going to show me information based on my past searches or my internet history, or you know what I mean?
I'm sure there will be some of that involved, but yeah, it's basically exactly right. It's going to be looking at what your use and you have looked at and liked in the past. I mean, he's going so far as to say the world is going to become, as far as what humans have to do, it's going to change because it's going to become so passive. So an example he gave was that, more and more you're seeing smart appliances, right? Smart refrigerators, smart washer and dryers, right? Appliances that are basically, online and, tapped in. He's like, your fridge is going to be able to have a camera in it and watching what you have in it. And let's say you like coconut waters, right? And you got 6 in there. When you get down to 2 coconut waters, your fridge is just going to, the AI in your fridge is just going to go and order it from Amazon, and they're going to show up at your door, and you'll never have to worry about running out of your favorite products, and your fridge will do it. You no longer have to be the one to be like, oh, we're low on coconut waters, let's order it.
Yeah.
It's all, and not that's just one example, but all of life is going to be that way. He's like, the way you think your kids are interacting with a screen, you know how much your kids are going to interact with robots in the future and have relationships with robots and talk to them like they do,
Yeah.
like their kids and shit.
Sorry,
They're
this
their
is
friends.
gnarly.
And he had a good perspective on it. He's like, it's technology is undefeated, and he's like, it's inevitable and it's going to happen. And he's like, everybody always talks about how bad it is and this and that. And he was like, but he was like, how many people in here, all of your social security numbers, your credit cards, all your information is online, right? In data, in the ether. And he's like, how many of you have ever had anything really bad happen to you? Mm-hmm. And he's like, fuck you, dick. The one guy was like, my credit, identity got stolen. He's like, yeah, so you had to go through some clerical, pains in the asses you had to deal with. But short of that, everybody's fine. He's like, you're all worried about a bunch of nothing. And he's like, the world is actually a really great place, and people don't even realize it. He's like, you go back in time, people that only lived to 35, they were uncomfortable, dying young, disease, and, worrying about somebody running into their town and raping and pillaging. And he's like, we're comfortable as fuck. Mm-hmm. He's like, most people underestimate how good life really is. And that's my message I want people to understand. He's like, it's all good. And I was just like, it's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
It's it's true. My fridge can order me some coconut water, dude. All right, I'm feeling froggy. Let's sleep, dude.
Yeah, dude. But the fucking the antisocial long-term effects of that stuff and of us as like humans in a civilization, I think there's a downside too.
There is. So the question is, what do we do? Like, also, if AI is going to take most jobs as we know it within 10 years, and that doesn't mean but it doesn't mean there won't be other types of jobs created in the meantime.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure.
So the question is, what do we do instead? Like, what becomes our purpose? You know, like, yeah, if you know what I mean, like, what can't AI do for you? Well, develop relationships, right? It can't help you find and feel and experience love. Like, there becomes an aspect of like, well, maybe you'll have more time to do the things that you want and to do, and that makes us intrinsically human. We do more of that because the rest of it's covered by AI. I don't know. It's just like, it's something to think about. Like, if you don't have to go out and mow your lawn or go grocery shopping, right? What are you going to do? You going to do art? You going to play an instrument? You going to spend time with your kids? Are you going to be bored and hopeless? Like, I don't know. It's just an interesting question,
Yeah.
you know, because it's coming. It's here. It's already here. You already have a room of 40 to 50-year-olds saying that they use AI to do searches more than they use Google. Like, we're already seeing now Google not becoming obsolete, but
Shift happening.
yeah, like majorly. And within 6 months, it's going to be completely different. And it's just, the other thing is, like, nobody can get ahead of how fast this is happening because it's just happening at such an accelerated speed because of AI and the technology that it's like, it's going to happen like quicker than we all even have a grasp of. It already has.
Sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's just going to take off.
Yeah. So then the question that he posed to people was like, rather than being like, oh, fuck AI, you know, whatever, he's like, better start figuring out how to use that shit. Like, you know what I mean? And learn it and get ahead of it and not be behind it, because it's going to come fast, it's going to come hard, and it can either like make your life way easier, or you could not know a thing about it and get lost, you know? And that's where I think we're really going to see the 70-year-old generation, anybody in their 70s, just really like start to struggle.
Yeah.
They're struggling bad. These
They're
baby
already-
boomers are so left behind.
Most of them are.
Most of them. That's
Have a
a
hard
general
time.
statement.
Yeah. Because they weren't born into this era.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue either were we, but we were introduced to it with like Nintendo and, I guess Netflix and Napster and stuff like that, right? AOL and all that was like the slow, but
Well,
like
the internet was, I remember getting on the internet for the first time in like 7th grade.
yeah, 96.
Yeah.
was when it started happening.
When you started having it in your home.
Yep. The first
Yeah.
time we got onto AOL, I remember because I waited 45 minutes for one booby to pop up on the screen. Line by line, dial in. I'm like, my dad's going to come in here, dude.
Any minute.
Come on.
You got your little mouse over the X.
Yeah.
You're just waiting, dude.
Yeah.
Is it a nipple?
And I was definitely 13 when that happened. Maybe 12, 95, 96.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This baby boomer generation, it's like the shift between the age
And that was what, 30 years ago? And look at how far it's come since then.
and how much faster it's going to happen from
Right.
like, we're going to hit, especially if when they figure out quantum computing and free energy, they're going to have to move to free energy because of the amount of power and heat and energy that these AIs are going to take to really run. Right. So PG&E running a cord isn't going to work anymore. They have free energy. They can use it, and they're figuring out how to do it. And that's where I think we'll see the introduction of it to power AI, because otherwise it's just going to be too consuming. You know what I mean? And so it's going to happen faster and faster. But we have this generation, dude, that's like, think about it. We are living right now in the transition between the age of Pisces, which is paper, physical money, right? Like tangible that kind of stuff, to the age of Aquarius, where money is now Bitcoin, and it's all like digital.
Yep.
Everything's digital.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't even have pen and paper in their house anymore. And that's just the way that it is. We could say it's good, we could say it's bad, but it's just the truth. And maybe there's something that comes and, knocks us back a few years and we go back to it. But it's happening where, like, okay, all money's going to go digital. Like, our parents still have a hard time getting on Facebook. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like, what's it going to work? What's that going to look like? And if you think about it also, that's where all the money is right now. The baby boomers have all the money. Not all of it, but like there's so much wealth caught up in that 70 to 80 gap. Mm-hmm. So until that age starts to, no offense, I love all my parents and people in that age, but until they start to die off and that money gets redistributed to younger people, the heirs, or whatever happens, like, it's going to be this interesting transitional period. But like, it was like watching a thing. You ever listen to Tim Pool? You know who Tim Pool is?
No.
You should check him out.
The 4-Hour Body guy?
No, that's Tim Ferriss.
Oh.
Tim Pool's like reads the news. He always wears a beanie. And
yeah. I know that guy.
yeah. And he was saying that like looking at the news, and he was like, the only people that watch Fox, CNN, and MSNBC and like get their news from that are 70 and older.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he's like, within 10 years, once that generation dies off, 10, 20 years, he's like, it'll be dead.
Yeah.
There's nobody going back and watching. He's like, and what are all the ads that are on that? It's all pharmaceutical shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go watch Fox News. Yeah. It's just one pharmaceutical ad after the next. So there's going to be this whole shift and transition that we're going through right now, and they talked about it a lot, and it's just super interesting.
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of at a point where it's like you either embrace it or you're going to get run over by it because it's coming. Anyways, he talked a lot about that. Made me think. It was super cool. You don't like it?
I don't know, dude. It's scary.
It's changed.
It's scary. It's scary in terms of, like, I think people are really going to have to focus on taking care of themselves spiritually, mentally, physically during this period of time where everything is going to be automated and
yeah, our kids are going to be living having birthday parties in the metaverse, dude.
No.
They will,
Nope.
bro.
Absolutely not. My kids will not have a birthday party in the metaverse.
But I do. Well, their kids definitely will. Your grandkids 100% will.
Nope.
And you're
Family rule.
You're gonna be hairy-eared grandpa over there going, I hate this shit.
Yes. I will gladly take on that role. Be like, Grandpa, put on your glasses. Yeah. No, I'm not putting those fucking things on.
Come on, we're gonna blow out the candles. Put your glasses on.
Nope. Bury me, dude. I'm done with it. I don't think so, dude.
Okay, we'll see. I think that'll have two things. I think you're right in that it may create some like Matrix style, like alternative world experiences where people are way more content doing nothing because it feels like something big is happening. I think
yeah, that's it. Like, right? Like these things are taking away from our experiences of like real life, right? So like these kids that are constantly getting these fucking dopamine hits and constantly searching on their phone, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and impulsively picking it up and scrolling again, like that behavior. And then you take their phone away and you're like, let's go to Montgomery Woods and go out in the fucking woods. And like the things that used to give you those good feelings you have to compete with social media and AI against that, right? So like they go out into the woods and they're like, cool big trees. Like the dopamine hits don't
hit
match up, right? Yeah. Like it takes away from those experiences. And so that's more where my fear and hesitation comes from, is like relying too much on all this other stuff and not experiencing life
Yeah,
in that way.
in the real world, I totally agree with you, and I think there's, but I also do. I'm just thinking out loud, and you're right about that, and maybe with kids, but kids even still when they're teenagers, big deal, a bunch of trees. They really still want to just sit home and play Nintendo or talk. When we were kids, talk to our friends on the phone.
Yeah.
So, that's always been a thing. But I think it's going to cause people to start to experience life differently and think about like the things we've always done are going to have to be redone. They're going to have to be different now. And for example, is school. Like, you can't just do a book report anymore like you used to, where you're going to go read the book and then write a report. Why? Because a kid doesn't have to read the book anymore. He can just go chat GPT to write him a book report. Well, you could go, what if you said, okay, well, instead of you writing a report, you have to come up in front of the class and talk to it and tell us about the book, right? You have to prove orally your knowledge of the book. Like, I think the whole way school has been done is going to have to be completely revamped because of what technology is starting to do. You know what I mean? It's no longer go home, memorize this, come back, regurgitate it. That shit's obsolete, right? Yeah. So we're going to be rethinking these things, and I think school will turn more into like, well, yes, because so much is done by computer, now we're going to go out and actually study the nature around you and have these other types of experiences and maybe talk about art, like playing music and knowing an instrument. That something AI can't do for you is like, play an instrument. Yeah, sure, you can program shit on a computer, but that's not you actually learning to do something different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could be really cool. I just think either way it's coming, and there's going to be good and there's going to be bad. But
yeah,
it just had me thinking about it in a different way. And I think the main thing is just not feeling like this constant sense of impending doom. You know what I mean? Because it's so
that's
easy.
Unhealthy to live with.
Totally, dude. And he was like, you would be surprised how little of my time I spend worrying about anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking right, dude. Why spend time worrying about shit, dude?
Does he have kids?
He has 2 kids, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think about, I saw in our local news that the Mendocino County building is flying the pride flag beneath the United States of America flag.
What do I think about it? What do you think about it, Carter? Listen,
because it's June, 2nd?
Is that Pride Month?
This has traditionally been Pride Month. June.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So here we go. Mendocino County to raise the pride flag to recognize LGBTQ plus community.
So what do you think about it?
So they're flying flags all over the place.
So I have two thoughts on this if you want me to go first. And I'm like, what are all those fucking colors on that flag? Like,
Well, it's growing because they're including more and more and more things.
so what's the brown for?
Oh,
Black people.
Are black people gay? Are black people gay? If you were a black person, do you want to be on that flag? Does that make you feel better?
Can you make it bigger a little bit so I can read a little bit of what's underneath it? The Progress Pride flag.
So, okay, go back up to the flag. Let's look at the flag. Okay, can you look up and see what are the colors for? What's the black? What's the brown? What's that other shit on there?
There's teal now. There's pink. There's purple. There's
what is all that?
Blue.
Because I think that I have 2 thoughts to this, and one is because I do have gay friends and people in my life that are gay that I love.
Sex life healing. Wait, what?
Okay, here we go. People of color, HIV loss and survivors. Okay, so the black is for HIV loss and survivors. People of color. What's the blue say? Masks? What's that? Yeah. What's that say?
I have no clue what that is.
Can you? What are the letters? I don't have my glasses. I can't read that.
ASCS.
Masks.
Masks. I don't even know what that shit is.
What the hell?
My question is, do we know why we're flying this? Like, why are we flying it?
For inclusivity.
Okay, so the American flag doesn't include people. Are we not all Americans?
So that's
Right? I mean, I think that one flag pretty much incorporates everybody. It's not like all Americans except for gay people. Because here's what I think. I know that for a long time,
sponsored the proposal to fly the pride flag at the administration office in recognition of June as Pride Month and to celebrate Mendocino County's LGBTQ community. So they're flying it for a month. It's important to recognize the diversity and strength in diversity that we have in Mendocino County. We're representing all the people of the county. While President Trump's administration has been fighting against diversity, equality, and inclusion initiatives on a national scale, the local government wants to ensure that all people are equally represented here in Mendocino County. Federal government has been totally stripping away diversity, equity, and inclusion in our society. This is the county's opportunity to show that we support diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I'm just not buying it. I just feel like, does Mendocino County have a flag? Can you look that up? Mendocino County flag. Let's look at that. Let's see what that looks like.
No, I don't think.
Doesn't?
I don't think we do. I don't think you have county flags. I think you have state flags, right?
Yeah, and maybe that would be one to fly. I don't know. I mean, I get it, and here's why. I have gay friends, and I know that there's people who've been in churches that didn't support people being gay and preach against it, even though their church is full of gay people, both running it and in the pews. And I think there was a point in this country where people were afraid to come out and be gay, and there was consequences to be paid in society for that. I feel like those days are over. Maybe not completely, but I feel like for the most part, acceptance of homosexuality has kind of had its maturation moment, right?
Yeah.
So now I kind of feel like they're overplaying it. Like so I respect that, and sure, let's honor it, but at the same time, like, when is it going to end? They're just going to keep adding stuff to this flag. And this, to me, looks like division, because when I think of including everybody, it's the flag above that includes everybody. All 50 states and all people that reside in them. That's the flag of inclusivity. Now, people, you're an American, right? Like it or not, it's on your birth certificate, the United States of America. So you can exist in that country, and that's an inclusive flag that is meant to fly for everybody. And for when you can argue about the repression of any one of those colors in America, I think you can also argue that America has done a lot to learn from past mistakes, grow, and not judge people for what they are. We don't need specific treatment for diversity and equity, which doesn't mean equality. Equity and equality are not the same thing, and so it's not necessary. It's overdoing it, and you're starting to, I think, overplay the card. I think people are starting to get tired of it. Yeah, we get it. You're gay. Good for you. You have the right to be gay. Nothing negative should happen to you because you're gay. But it is not your sole identity. Your sexuality is not your sole identity. Very few people refer to me as a heterosexual.
Drew the heterosexual.
Yeah.
That's how I introduced you to my friend.
Right, or a breeder. Right? Or whatever the fuck. Seriously.
This is Drew the top.
That's right. We got that right. But
okay, well, what I think
Go.
is that I don't think this flag necessarily means gay people anymore.
exactly.
This is the trans flag now. This is what's flown for the trans people, because, like you said, I don't see there being a fight anymore against gay people. That's not what's going on. The fight today is about trans people. And so for them to, I'm like, there's two parts of me, right? I have like mixed feelings about this. Like one of it was like, what's it hurt? What's it hurt to fucking fly a flag for a month and fucking pat people on the back and be like, cool, you're all welcome here because we fly this fucking flag. And the other part of me is like, yeah, I believe that the fucking American flag encompasses like, isn't that the point of our flag? Like,
Right.
wasn't that what this place is founded on? Is like, you know, and the other part is that like, I don't think I'm on board with the trans thing, dude. I don't think that it's the same kind of fight as the gays were. I think wanting to be something that you're not is a little bit delusional. And maybe I'm not versed enough in fucking meeting all those people and knowing their experiences, but that's kind of how I feel. And I think it's played out. And I think that like, why are we doing special treatment for other people?
Yeah.
Why aren't we using June as a month to go and help some of these people who might be confused or not understand what's going on with themselves? Like what's flying a flag going to do? So I kind of I'm on both sides, you know, not both sides, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. I guess it doesn't hurt, but at the same time, like, where's this stuff end, dude?
Yeah, that's my point. I just think if you aren't one of the colors represented on that flag, then are you excluded? And if you're not a color on that flag, you sure are tired of that flag getting rammed down your throat.
Well, and I think what you said,
No pun intended.
I think it creates more division.
100%. And
Because it's
that's
like,
the
oh,
point.
I don't identify with this flag, so I'm obviously the flag on the top. Right? I don't identify with that colorful flag, right? There's nothing on there I don't think that's me. So my flag must be the top one. And what does that do? Like
Right.
that creates a division, right? I'm not that flag. I'm that flag.
In our
It's like, why don't we flag one fucking flag for everybody?
Exactly. Amen, dude. And you know, it's like trans people are Americans.
Yeah.
So you fall under that. And you might say, well, you don't identify with American flag. It's like, okay, well, go to Iran. See how that
You don't identify as being a fucking female either. So what?
I don't know. I think everyone's tired of this conversation, and I think it's getting super played out. I think gay people have accomplished a lot, and I think they're starting to work backwards. I think people are starting to get tired of it because people attached.
I know gay people who are tired of the trans.
That's what I'm saying.
stuff.
Like,
they're like, dude,
they're attaching their cart to your horse, and like, dude, you guys worked hard for your,
equality and rights.
yeah, and you got it. So like, why are you blowing it with this? Because
But I don't think it's not the same group of people, dude.
yeah,
They're not blowing it with this. They've worked and they're fucking.
I think they are, dude.
I don't know. We should have a couple of our friends on here who are gay and ask them about it. But
That's a good. That would be great.
I think they would
should do that.
I think they would recognize themselves with the American flag, right? Like,
Yeah, I love all people, and that's like, I don't know. You saw in that little clip we did with the homeless where I was like, it's kind of a lack of personal accountability, and people are like, you lack compassion, and it's like, I don't want it to get misconstrued as a lack of compassion. I think everybody should be free to be who they want up to the point where it starts to affect the people around them.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I'm a heterosexual, but that doesn't mean I get to go and use that to have intercourse with any woman that I want at any age and anywhere at any place. Like, there's limits on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it should be the same thing with like everybody else. Like, just because you're attracted to kids, like, okay, so we should accept that? Well, we don't. If we do, you can be that up until the point where it hurts a kid. And that's where the line stops. That's where all of this stops. And so you can be trans, but if you're a trans man who's now a woman and you get in the ring, a boxing ring with a woman, and you punch her harder than she's ever been punched by any other woman, you've crossed the line of hurting somebody. Now your personal identification and preference or whatever has now gone too far because it's all about you and what you want. We all have to sit here and suffer because you decided that this is your identity and you should be able to do whatever you want. That's bullying. You're a fucking bully is what you are. And you got yourself into a place where you can bully and you can win, and you want to try to create a dialogue where people aren't allowed to say shit about it, and people are tired of it, dude.
Yeah.
That's why you got the orange dude in office. Part of the reason.
Right. Right.
It's the same
Because
thing with
the
the
majority
homeless.
of people are fucking over it.
It's the same thing with the homeless. I have compassion for them up to the point where they negatively hurt other people.
Yeah.
I know hurt people, but if we're going to have a community that is going to stop degrading into a place of chaos or where it stops functioning, then we have to understand that, like, we can't just make art projects about people that are negatively impacting our community and say you're just not compassionate.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I have immense compassion for people too, and a good portion of my life is dedicated to being in service to other people. And also, like, I have opinions about people I have different opinions than other people. Bro. And it's like it blows my mind that it's such a small population that the majority of people seem to be bending over backwards for. And it's just like,
it's because it's divisive. It's pushed to divide.
Seems like it, dude. Because
course.
It's like, I don't really care.
Because when we're fighting with each other and we're having conversations like this about this, we're not really focused on the real problem, which is the establishment.
Yeah.
It's not left versus right. It's establishment, right? Versus, the people.
Yeah.
That's the real fight. And the more we fight with each other over this dumb shit, the more the wolves circle the sheep. And so we got to stop with all of this.
Okay,
right?
cut that last 20 minutes out, Joseph.
No, it's a good conversation to have. But it's misguided.
Cut that last 20 minutes out. We're going back to joking.
So yeah, we're serious, but we can't always be jokesters. But I went to this I was telling you, I was at this mastermind, which is basically an entrepreneur like meetup. And one of the nights they had this gala, which was for charity, right? And one of the guys he's a millionaire, he's a multi-millionaire, built, sold, and exited, over 100 different businesses, has, lots of money. And what he said on stage was that all the money never filled any of the holes. And I spent my whole life looking for what the real purpose was. And I found that my purpose is now impacting others. And his name is Eddie Wilson. Check him out. He's a super cool guy. And he started a charity to build orphanages around the world, water wells around the world, and feed over, I think it's like 17,000 different orphans every day, all year long. And I went into this room of people, and they sat in this room, told their stories, and they raised $750,000 in one night. 367,000 of which went to providing Christmases to kids all around the world who don't have parents and don't have a gift. And so you look at this and you say, well, there are good people doing good things. And a lot of the people that fall under the American flag, this guy, he's a super cool guy. That fall under that American flag that we say are, these terrible people that are all about money. It's like, do you know how many kids this guy's helped and raised through his influence and his money? Way more than any of these people bitching about, like, what some of these wealthy white people will ever do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I heard Grant Cardone say this, and Grant Cardone is a little bit, a little bit conflicting, but he's like, the most selfish people on earth are poor people, because all they can do is think about themselves every single day. And he's like, when you get to a point where you can provide yourself and your cup overflows, that's when you really have an opportunity to help other people. And there's so many people that have their stuff together, that show up, that put in the work, that don't make excuses, that don't take a victim mentality, that build a business, that take care of their kids, that protect their wife, that go out and make and build this country to make it what it has, that then turn around, experience success, reach down, pull up other people and help other people around the world who can't help themselves. You can't give what you don't have. And if you don't have the ability to create for yourself, then you don't have shit.
Yeah.
And these guys want to like sit here and talk about how capitalism is the problem. And it's like, yeah, well, show me a communist country that's doing well. You know what I mean? Like, how's it going in Venezuela right now? It drives me crazy that it's just like, and they drive this wedge, and it's like, dude, there's so much other stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Did you listen to the podcast? Theo Vaughn had Andrew Huberman on,
parts of it.
and they talked for a couple hours. It was great, dude. The whole thing was just fantastic. They talked a lot about dopamine and the effects that you have. Like dopamine's like a anticipation thing, right? So they used an example of like, he was like, what do you really like to do? And Theo was like, I like to make quesadillas. And he was like, okay, so say that you're about to make a quesadilla, you got all your cheeses and your ingredient and all your stuff, you know? And he's like, during that process is where those dopamine things are coming, you know, where your body's naturally producing it. And then you take a bite into that quesadilla and it's just great. It's like the best one you've ever had. And that's where your dopamine spikes, right? And he was like, now say you eat 4 quesadillas and your dopamine's going to be at less and less with each quesadilla. So he goes through all these like practical examples of how dopamine plays out in your mind and body. But they were saying something similar about this guy who made millions overnight or something like that and fell into this like deep depression like right after, because there was no like chase. There was no purpose of like living. And so anyways, it's a really good podcast. You guys should check it out. But I love both of those guys.
It's super true, though. It is like, that's it. It's the pursuit of greatness. It's having a purpose that gives life value. And there's a bunch of people who seem like they've kind of given up on life, don't pursue that. And because they've kind of are in that depressive state, want to sit around and point the finger at like all these other people who kept them from doing it. It's like, no one's keeping you from doing anything but you.
Yeah.
Sure, there's obstacles. Sure, there's some racism. Sure, there's some homophobia. But are you using that as an excuse not to be the best version of yourself?
Yeah.
Or is that really what has stopped you from being great? Because there's no, really wealthy gay people,
Yeah.
right? Or black people, right? None of those. Of course there is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that flag is divisive and it's a waste of time. I don't think it stands for what people think it does. I know there are some gay people that listen to this who think otherwise, right? That represents something that they're proud of, and I understand that. And so, it is what it is. I like I said, I got lots of people I love that are gay, but I just think that at this point it's self-defeating.
Yeah, but like I identify with the Italian American culture, and why aren't they flying my flag?
Right.
We had our troubles.
Sure did.
Like, what the fuck?
That's the point.
I don't know,
It's
dude.
just to be divisive. It is just to like rile it up.
It kind of seems like it.
I just think Mendocinos should have a lot more priorities going on, like balancing the budget.
The
figuring
board
it
of
out.
supervisors, this is really a hot topic on their plate right now.
Yeah.
It should be, huh?
Yeah.
I posted something on our Instagram the other day that was they're having some sort of a question night for the annexation that Ukiah is doing.
Yeah.
They're trying to annex a lot of land in the on the outskirts of Ukiah.
Yep.
A lot of people have strong opinions about it. So there's something like that coming up soon.
Yeah. Can you find that?
I don't remember when it is.
Did you post it as a story? Probably.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we can. when was that? Wasn't it the 13th?
Saved. Yeah, I can't remember when it is, but you can look it up. You can find it on their website.
If
or
you're curious
somewhere.
about the annexation, I think it is not this week, but next week. They're having a meeting about it. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
City of Ukiah holding an annexation workshop Tuesday. What's the date? 5:30. Oh, that was when they wrote this. School Street.
Tuesday,
June 11th.
June 11th.
Yep, at 6 p.m. June 11th at the Ukiah Civic Center. I don't know. I think that they got a lot to speak for. I think the problem they have is how are they going to annex people who want to be in the county into the city and then tell them that they're still going to treat them like they're in the county. Then you're either in the city or you're not.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people don't want to be in the city.
Yeah.
So they'll either have to change some city ordinances. They can explain it, but it's a money grab, and it's also there's some good things about it in streamlining, like sewer and water hookups for growth.
More people will be able to be on the city power instead of PG&E.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all right.
That's
but
way cheaper.
yeah, PG&E's the devil.
Yeah.
Also, there's something going on about being able to have transients camp in your yard. Can you type that in? It's a Mendocino County put it like transient camping ordinance or something. Commercial. I said that and somebody was like, "That's not what it's about." But
No, you and I talked about this.
did we talk about it?
Yeah, it's not about camping in your yard. It's about creating places for them to.
Transient habitat.
Yeah. Clause. What is this?
I don't know. But there's something on the ballot about it. No. Hospitality. Anyways. We'll see.
Yeah, they're trying to make it legal for them to have some sort of camping.
In people's yards.
No.
On your property. Like if you have a piece of property.
I think what makes sense to me is that we keep talking about let's give them an area where they can go.
I'm all for
and
it.
there's laws about they can't camp in certain areas. I think this is a step forward in the direction of let's make specific areas that are okay for them to be in.
Yeah, remember I told Mo that that's what we need to do, and she was like, "Well, who's going to be responsible for it?"
All right.
It's like, well, it sounds like the county should. Oh no.
Nope.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening here.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Boo.
All right. I got to get out of here, dude.
All right, time for dinner. Love
Time
you guys.
for dinner.
Hey.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Support the sponsors that we have. Support the people who support the show. And love you, dude.
Whether you like it or not. Yeah, love you too.
See you guys soon.